we just had no idea, we had no clue. Lena here from Girl Teach Me, and today I want to share with you 4 things you really, really need to know if you want to have an unmedicated birth. It's totally possible, but you really need to know these things. I wish that I could tell so many people these things. I really, really wish I could. But you're here watching this video, which means you're interested in having an unmedicated birth. And even the fact that you're interested in it, that you're hearing me out, means that possibly there's some stirring in your heart that that's what you want to do. First thing that you really, really need to do if you want to have an unmedicated birth is to choose your birth team wisely. Choose your birth team wisely. What do I mean by that? I mean that if you have any hesitations at all, any red flags in your spirit that says, I don't know if I can trust my doctor or my midwife or whoever it is, then listen to that. Think about it. Why do you think you may not trust them, or you don't know if they would actually support you in unmedicated birth? Here's an idea. Talk to your doctor, talk to your midwife, whoever it is that you already have on your birth team or you're thinking about having on your birth team, and ask them all the hard questions. Like, how often do you C-section? How late do you let women go? Like, do you let them go to 42 weeks? How often do you use Pitocin? Do you make women use Pitocin even after to prevent hemorrhaging? Like, ask as many questions as you can. And that's where it's tough. Maybe you don't know what questions to ask. I have a course and I can help you with that. But I'm telling you right now, ask the questions. Even if you're afraid to know the answer, it's way better that you go ahead and ask the question. I would highly suggest that if you can get a doula on board, a doula is there to help you, to be an advocate for you, and to help your husband. If this is your first birth, you're going to need somebody to help you. You've never done this before, and neither has your husband. And so I could highly, highly recommend having a doula. I had a friend who actually, things didn't go exactly the way she wanted them to, but she was so glad she had a doula on board. She said, I am just so, so, so thankful. She's like, we just had no idea. We had no clue. And how would you if you've never been through it? So really choose your birth team wisely. Second thing I would say, do everything you can, hear me, everything you can to not be induced. So if they tell you at 36 weeks the baby might be too heavy, sometimes they just don't know. Obviously, I'm not giving medical advice, but I am just telling you, do everything you can to let your body go into labor naturally. There are so many things you can do to get your body more ready and to keep the environment feeling peaceful so your body feels like you can go into labor. It's called the cascade of interventions. And once it starts, there's all kinds of interventions that come along with it. And so sometimes how it goes is, the doctor or whoever is like, I think we should induce you. Maybe it's 36, 37 weeks. Maybe it's 40 weeks. Maybe it's 40 weeks and a half or something. They're putting pressure on you, which isn't going to help you go into labor. And then they induce you. When they induce you, they give you Pitocin. Sometimes that's labor contraction on top of labor contraction. So you're not getting a rest. Baby's not getting a rest. I could just keep going and on and on and on. Do everything you can to let labor happen on its own. One thing I want to say is your body knows what to do and your baby knows what to do. And I'm here to say about 95% of women could do labor with no interventions at all and nothing be wrong. There's 5%, maybe of women, maybe even less, who really, really need help. But I think a lot of women think automatically they're in that 5%. But why? If you have had a healthy pregnancy, you were getting good prenatal care, and you've seen no warning signs, perhaps it's just some false beliefs about labor and about your body. One thing I told myself in my last labor is my body knows what to do and my baby knows what to do. And it's so, so true. Like, just trusting that your body was made for this and your baby wants to be born. Your baby knows what to do. I have a lot more stuff I teach on this in my course called Labor Without Fear. A lot of women just allow fear to grip them and they interpret everything through the lens of fear. And I'm really passionate about helping women flip that in their brain. The third thing I want to say is that you have to interpret labor contractions or labor pains like they're good. You have to interpret that as good, give it to me, it's okay. So the way our body works is your brain actually interprets signals that your body is getting all the time. So your body's constantly getting signals and your brain's like, that's fine, that's not fine. And your brain is like determining all the time, is that a safe sensation or not a safe sensation? And your brain is deciding that all the time. And that's to protect you. That's a good function of your body and your brain. But what's really important is that you tell your body how it should interpret labor contractions. And the best way you can interpret that is, this is a working pain, not a hurting pain. This is my body working the baby down and out. And one of my friends, I just talked to her. She's probably one of the first people I've ever talked to who's had a really, really pain-free birth. I've personally never had that. She said, and I loved this, and I want to share it with you, that every time she had a contraction, she said, give me more, give me more. Just talking to her body, saying, this is good, give me more. And I feel like I really didn't get quite there until my fourth birth, and that was only her second. And my fourth birth with Sunny, which was about 18 months ago, I felt like I was like in this zone where I was like, I don't want this to last one more second than it has to, because I'm ready to meet my baby. So I was interpreting all the contractions as, this is positive, this is working baby down and out. I could literally feel like baby inching down. But my first two births, I did not interpret labor contractions as such. I was trying to stay as comfortable as possible. I thought it was possible to just stay comfortable through birth. But there is a focusing and an interpreting that has to happen. And you have to almost talk to your body and say, this is good, this is okay. This is just the body working baby out and down. This is the baby trying to inch its way out. This is good. So interpreting that pain or that tension or waves or whatever you want to call it, surges, as good. And as my friend said, she said, give me more. Let's go. Give me more. The fourth thing and final thing I would say is prepare, prepare, prepare. If you were going to go run a marathon, you would not show up on that day and just run it. I mean, maybe you could make it, but you would be tore up. And your mind would not be ready. And labor is mental. It's the mental strength and toughness as well. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Train yourself, and here's how you're going to do it. You're going to do hard things, and you're going to practice a completely neutral face. Your face is connected to your pelvic floor. So doing, challenging workouts, maybe a challenging hike. If you haven't had any issues, again, not medical advice, but do some challenging things that are not absolutely out of the norm, and then practice staying calm. So I love to go get my eyebrows threaded. This was such a good opportunity to have something that was, tight and tense, like, pulling hairs out of my face, and then I had to stay completely neutral. So that could be like your husband rubbing your hands really, really hard, your shoulders really hard, your feet really hard, and staying completely relaxed and neutral and saying, give me more, this is good. For me, it was like some cycling classes, some good hikes, continuing to lift weights, just being active. But anytime you have any kind of muscle tension, maybe it's a tough yoga pose, and you're in the pose and you're doing the work, but you're staying relaxed. And you're like, give me more, give me more. See, I had a yoga instructor, and she said, about the time you're ready to get out of the yoga pose, that's when the pose is doing its work. And I can say the same is true. About the time that you're like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Or you're just like restless to get out of it. Oh, your body's doing good work. Your body is doing good work. And actually, about the time that you think you cannot go any longer, that's about the time you're probably almost done. And so I'm here to tell you, you can do this. Your body is made for it. Tell your body, it's okay, give me more, let's do this thing. Stay connected to baby. You are doing this for your baby. Stay so connected to baby. And if you want more help with this, I have a course that is all about shifting your mindset from fear to faith and just preparing your mind for labor. I have my master's in sports psychology. It's such a cool pairing to take my passion for labor and birth and my experiences of being just absolutely riddled with pain to getting to this point where I was no longer so fearful of birth, and it was actually such a miraculous experience and an empowering experience. I'm here to tell you that nothing will shape you more in womanhood than birthing your baby. It's the most beautiful and empowering thing. And I think your faith will just go to a different level when you're trusting the Lord through something as uncontrollable sometimes as labor. And I think that's what a lot of women want to do, is they want to control it. That's our tendency as women, we want to control, but I'm here to tell you that it's a surrender. It's a beautiful, beautiful surrender. So I have a lot of mama, birth, pregnancy videos here on this channel. I'll leave the playlist down below so you can check out some of those videos. And as I like to say here at Girl Teach Me, if there's something you really want to know, I hope you'll find an older, wiser woman and you'll say to her, hey, girl, teach me, and I'll see you again in the next video.